Hey you guys, it is time for Lesson 3, Learn Activity 6, Organizing List Information under JasperActive Word Core. If this is your first time, click on Learn. Otherwise, click Practice if you need to update. Quick reminder, sometimes in certain lessons you have to go back and do previous steps. You can't just do the ones that you've missed. So make sure that you're looking through to see if there's something you need to do ahead of time, or ask your teacher to see. Alright, so I've got mine all set up. Let me increase my text here because I can't read it. There we go. So our step 1 is to format text. With the HR training document open, ensure the cursor is in the training seminar title line. And then on the Home tab in the Styles group, click Heading 1 in the Quick Styles gallery. Okay, so the first thing with the HR training document open, if I look up at the title bar, I can see that's the one that is showing. I want to make sure that the cursor is in the training seminar title. I can see it flashing right here, so I know it's in the right spot. And then on the Home tab in the Styles group, click Heading 1 in the Quick Styles gallery. So I'm going to click into my document just to make sure it's active. I'm on the Home tab. Remember, our tabs are all up here. And then our groups are down here. They're all listed by title at the bottom on our ribbon. So we're looking for the Styles group. Here it is right here. And I can see there's some different styles showing up here, and a few of them are titled. So, and if I hover over them, you can see how it changes my title down here. So when I hover over it, shows how these different ones are going to look. So I'm looking for Heading 1 in the Quick Styles gallery. That's what this is. So I'm going to click on that. There we go. And then step 2, select the coaching files. Select the coaching files and the project headings, okay? So I'm going to highlight or select, not highlight. You want to click and drag over coaching files. And then remember, when we're doing text that's not consecutive, so text that's not next to each other, I'm going to hit the Control key on my keyboard, and then I can select this as well. So now I've selected both of them at the same time, and then I can apply Heading 2 to both of them instead of having to do them each separately. This just helps save us some time. So Heading 2 is up here again in the Styles, in the Quick Styles gallery, and I'm going to select that. There we go. I'm going to click Mark as Answered and go to the next one. All right, select the first 4 points under Coaching, starting from Reaching Out to Negotiation Skills. And on the Home tab in the Paragraph group, click Bullets. Notice that Word applies a bullet to the last point even though there was a blank line. So let me apply those bullets first, and then you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to select the first 4 points under Coaching. So here's Coaching right here. I'm going to select these 4 right here, and it wants me to go to the Home tab, right? And then click on the bullets, which are right here. And if I just click that, it's going to apply the bullets here. So you'll notice it says Word applies a bullet to the last point, even though there's a space between them. Okay, you can choose to delete the blank line, but in this case, we're just going to leave it because it's not going to mess with whatever we're doing. All right, that was it for step 2. So I'm going to click Mark as Answered and Next. Apply numbering to a list. So we're going to select the items under the project heading. Okay, here's project. From Measures to Storyboard, and click Numbering. You can see down here there's an example. So if you're not quite sure, you can always click on that and it will bring it up for you. If you still can't see it, I know it's pretty small. You can hold the Control key down and scroll up on your mouse, and it will zoom that in for you. I don't need this right now, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out. I'm going to select under Project, from Measures to Storyboard, and then I'm going to click Numbering. So Home tab's right here. Our numbering icon is right here, and I just click right on those numbers, and it will number it for me, like so. Step 2, select the first line with the dash and click the arrow on the bullets button. Then click the solid bullet symbol. Word applies the bullet in the same indent position. So when it says the dash, we can see a dash right here. So if you're making a list, any kind of bulleted or numbered list, if you have like a sub point to that, you can go down and hit the tab key and it will give you a little icon like this. So in this case, we already have that there. We're going to change it. So I'm going to select the first line with the dash, so I'll select the whole line. And then I'm going to click the arrow on the bullets, which is right here. Okay, and it wants me to select the solid bullet symbol. See if it's going to work. It's not going to let me hover, but I can see that recently used is that solid bullet, so I'll go ahead and click on that. And it's still in the same indent position. Alright, step 3, click the arrow for the bullets button, and then click define new bullet. So I'm going to go back up here to the arrow, and down at the bottom it says define new bullet. This will let me change what that bullet looks like so I can put different symbols in there. So step 4, click symbol, and then click an arrow, the arrow for font. That's right here. And I'm going to click, it wants me to select wingdings. And there are 3 different wingdings, it's just looking for the first one. And it gives us a hint to move quickly to a specific font, type the first character of the font's name. So right now it's on symbol. If I type a W, it's going to scroll all the way down to the W's for me. And I can keep actually typing that in until I see it show up. There it is right there. Click on that. Step 5, click an arrow style that points to the right. So any arrow is fine. It just wants you to get one that's pointing over to the right. I like this one myself. I'm going to select that one. Click OK twice to exit the dialog boxes. So here's OK once, and then OK again. And now my bullet has changed into that little arrow. And I'm going to scroll down. On the ruler, drag the left indent marker so the bullet aligns with the first character in initiative. So first of all, make sure your rulers are visible. Sometimes they're hiding. If you can't see yours, go up to the View tab. There's a ruler checkbox. If it's unchecked, the ruler disappears. If it's checked, the ruler appears. Alright, so on the ruler, drag the left indent marker so the bullet aligns with the first character in initiative. So first of all, I'm going to find the word initiative so I know where I'm lining it up. And then I have to remember which one is the left indent. So if you hover over these, it will tell you. There's first line indent, hanging indent. The little rectangle at the bottom is the left indent. There it is. Once I know I've got it, I can click and hold. And then I can drag it over until that arrow aligns with the word initiative. There we go. So step 8, click in the second line with the dash bullet and press Ctrl Y. Okay, so I don't have to highlight the whole or select the whole thing, I just have to click in there. And then I hold the Control key down and press the Y key. And you notice how it moved it over for me? So it says, notice how Word only changes the indent on this line. This is a result of asking Word to repeat the last action. If you want the point to all have the same options, use Format Painter instead. Right? So we can do Control Y to repeat our last action, but if we wanted it to look exactly the same with the same bullet, we would want to use Format Painter. So click anywhere in the bullet with the arrow bullet, click the Home tab, and click the Format Painter in the clipboard group. So this is the bullet it's talking about, this line. So I can click anywhere in here, and I just have to put my cursor there. If I go up to the Home tab, here's my clipboard section, there's my Format Painter. So if I click Format Painter, I can, step 10 tells me click in the line indicated in step 8. Alright, that's this one right here. So if I click in it, you notice that my bullet point changed, right? So now they match. Once I've got that done, I'm going to click Mark as Answered and go to Next. So applying bullets to a list. Step 1, select the 3 lines below the benchmarks diagram. There's benchmarks diagram right here. It says from there is always to 2 tasks, and then click bullets. Okay, so here's my benchmarks diagram. Here are the 3 lines it wants me to select. So from there is all the way down to 2 tasks. There we go. And then I'm going to click bullets right here. Ta-da! With the bullets still selected, click the arrow for bullets button and then click the solid bullet. Okay, here's the arrow right next to it. I'm going to click the solid bullet and it's going to change that for me. Now you notice my bullets are pretty far indented. I'm going to use the decrease indent button right here on my paragraph tab to move the bullets to the left margin. When the bullets change to a numbered list, click the bullets button again. Alright, so decrease indent right here. It changed it to a numbered list, so it's matching this one up here. I want to click the bullets button again. That's this. Now this one's really confusing. And then I'm going to click mark as answered and go to next. Scroll in the document until you are on page 2. So you can use the scroll bar right here. You can use the scrolly on your mouse. Select the 4 lines starting from direct to the end of outcome only abdicate. So I can see here's direct right here. Here's outcome only abdicate. So I'm going to select all of those. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, click numbering. Here's my numbers right here. There we go. Now you notice it has them numbered as 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's continuing from my previous numbered bullet list on page 1. It's making an assumption I want to continue that list. Okay, but you'll notice that step 3 says click the autocorrect options button to the left of item 6. Here it is, direct. And then click restart numbering. So this button only shows up in a situation like this. So if I click that little arrow, it gives me the option to restart numbering. And once I click that, it will give me, it will start me over at 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Step 4, select the 3 points below different levels of initiative text. Here's the text right here. I'm going to select these 3 right here. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, click numbering. Okay, again right here. There they are. So it says, suppose you realize the numbering should be continuous from the previous numbered list up here. With the 3 points still selected, click the arrow for numbering and click set numbering value. So up here, I can go down to the very bottom and click set numbering value. Let me scroll down to my next instruction. Click continue from previous list. There we go. Although I noticed that mine actually already had me set up to do that. Even if it does, go ahead and do the steps anyway. Click advance. Oh, I think I exited out before I should have. Well, let me go back in there. Set numbering value, continue from previous list. And then it wants me to click advanced value, right? It would let me skip numbers if I needed to. Then click into the set value 2, that's right here, field, and change this to 5. Mine's already at 5, but I'll do it anyway. And then click OK. That's it for that step, so mark as answered and next. And next we're going to create a multi-level list using tabs. So we're going to open the Building a Model Airplane document from the Resource Files folder and then press Control and N to move to the end of the document. Alright, so I got to go to File and Open. And remember, your Resource Files folder is going to be in your JasperActive folder. So sometimes when you open this up, I can look at my file path up here and see there's my JasperActive folder. If I just click on that title, it will take me back to any folders that are in that. And I want to go to Resource Files. And there it is, Building a Model Airplane. And I'll open that up. Here it is. Now if I hold the Control key on my keyboard down and press the End button on my keyboard, so End key, that will move my cursor to the end of the document. So remember, sometimes we get keys. There are keys and there are tabs and things like that that have similar names. So you just need to remember when it's asking you to press something, it means it's a key. All right, step 2, press tab, type build each group separately, and press enter. So again, it's saying to press, so that means it's the tab key, not one of these tabs up here. So it's a tab key on my keyboard. When I hit tab, it's going to move my cursor over. And then I'm going to type what's in bold print. So build each group separately. Let's make sure I spell it right. And then I'm going to press enter. You notice my cursor went all the way back over to that left margin. Now it wants me to press tab twice and type allow to dry completely before attaching anything else and press enter. So tab key, type in allow to dry completely before attaching anything else and press the enter key. Again, my cursor jumps all the way back over. Step 4, press tab and type assemble each portion together per manual. So tab over, assemble each portion together per manual. If you have a misspelling like this, right click on it, it will give me the correct spelling. Go back to the end of that line and press enter. Alright, step 5 wants me to select each line of text. So down here, each of these lines of text, I'm not doing the header. We'll see if it will give me an OK or not. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, click Multi-Level List and then click the 1.a.i style. Okay, so Home tab, paragraph list right here, and then Multi-Level List. That's this one that looks like a bunch of different letters. It looks like 1.a.i. So I click that drop down. Here it is right here at the top. I can see it's 1.a.i. If I click that, you notice it's created a bulleted list that has the numbers at the first level, the letters on the second level, and then that I on the third level. So the I, if it was a second one, you can see, I'll show you. If I hit 2, it'll give me two I's there, and so on if I did the same for 3, like that. We don't need to do that. I was just showing you what that looks like instead of continuing, because I know I is a letter, but it's not in this letter list. Alright, click anywhere in the open box line. Okay, here's open box right here. And in the paragraph group, click the decrease indent button. Okay, so A, open box carefully right here. Home tab, paragraph, decrease indent. When I click on that, you notice what happened. My numbers and letters have changed. So now this is the second one in my bulleted list, and in my sublist I now only have A and B instead of A, B, and C. Okay, notice Word promoted this line to the same level as the one purchased the model kit line. So now what it wants me to do for step 8 is click undo on the quick access toolbar to reverse this action. So up here, quick access toolbar is up here. Here's my undo. If I do undo, it jumps right back to where it was before. Step 9, select the 3 points below the purchase line. On the ruler, grab the left indent marker and drag it to the left so the first line indent marker aligns with the P in purchase. This is a lot of words. So select the 3 points below the purchase line. So here's purchase right here. I'm going to select these 3 bullet points. And then on the ruler, grab the left indent marker and drag it to the left so the first line indent marker aligns with the P in purchase. Okay, so again, back up to our ruler. That's my first line indent. That's my left indent. Down here, oh, the middle one is my hanging indent. So I want to grab the left indent, and I'm going to drag it so the first line indent marker aligns with the P in purchase. So this is the first line indent, and I'm trying to align it with the P right here by grabbing the left indent and dragging it. And you'll notice I'm there because the A, B, and C will all line up with that P right there. Right, and if I click on this, it will show me a line. So I know they're all lined up the way I want it to be. Step 10, select points A, B, and C only below the number 2, read instructions line. Press Control Y to repeat the last action. Okay, so below step 2, it wants, oops, I did something. I will hit Control and Z to undo that. Hopefully it doesn't make me redo the whole thing. So I'm going to select these lines. I'm going to hold down the Control key and click Y. Oh, it did make me undo it. Okay. So I have to go back and redo this. Sometimes when we click off on things, it now resets what the computer thinks we're doing. It's a very logical and linear thinking, so we have to go back to the step before. Okay, so I'm going to select these items right here, click left indent, pull it over. So now that's the last thing the system knows that I did. Now I'm going to come down here and select these guys. Now I can hold Control and click Y, and it will jump those over for me. Step 11, click in the line I, allow to dry, and click allow to dry. That's this one. Sometimes the way that this is laid out, it makes it hard to follow what it's asking you to do. So click in the line I, allow to dry, and click the decrease indent button. Okay. I'm in allow to dry. Here's my decrease indent button. I will click that. Now it has changed this bullet point. We're going to select mark as answered and show results. And there we go. Good job.